Welcome to LFG 1904 show. My name is Graf.
My name's Rafa.
And my name is Coty.
Let's go.
That's right. That was actually
on
pretty good.
fucking point. I'm
Not
stoked.
bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. This is gonna be such a good episode. I can already feel it. How's your day going so far?
My day is going well. The sun's shining, and woke up another day clean.
Come on.
Yeah.
You are also the best dressed guest we have ever had.
Really?
That is, say that 3 times fast. Best dressed guest. Best dressed guest.
Best dressed guest. Best Western.
That's just
Nailed it.
ain't happening.
So, eventful day. We had Dustin here. He had to leave. Family emergency. All's going to be fine. He's good to go. However, we always like to kick this episode off by asking, where are you from?
I am from Claremont.
Damn, you're from here.
Yes.
Okay.
Right in this area.
Not bad.
Yeah.
We know a couple people that used to fucking run around here. Run amok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't really know. My parents, they don't really tell me much, but my sister tells me a lot. And so apparently I lived in a trailer in Lakeside when I was a baby. Went to the Indian reservation, lived there.
Nice.
Moved to San Carlos, and then I went to Claremont.
Okay. Are you native?
No, my stepdad was native.
Got it.
He was,
Kumiye?
yes.
There we go.
Yes, right on
Shout
the
out Justin
Verona
Durbin.
Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. That's our boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that happened within like your first year or something?
So, it is said that my parents were not together anymore when I was born.
Right.
Let's see here. So, my dad was either in the army. Yeah, I think he was in the army. And when he came back, my mom had found my stepdad.
Yeah. Found him. Stumbled upon him.
Yeah. So, I was born. We were in Lakeside in a trailer or whatever. And then my dad went to the army. And when he came back, he couldn't really find us. And my mom was already with Willie, my stepdad.
Good old Willie.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
And we were living on the Indian reservation. And
Tree Stump Willie.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Stump Willie.
Tree
Tree
Stump
Stump
Willie. I just
Willie.
came up with that on the fly. I don't know what else you called him.
I was just like, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. If I was going to have a nickname, I would want it to be Tree Stump Willie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty rock solid. How was Tree Stump Willie, though?
He's actually a really awesome person.
All right. Glad to
Right.
hear. Because I don't
Yeah.
want to give a dickhead a good nickname. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Good to hear Tree Stump Willie doesn't suck too bad.
Yeah, yeah. I really loved him a lot. My sister tells me that when I was younger, there was a story where I woke him up and I was like, I want some fucking pancakes, Willie. And so then he would put me up on the counter while we were making pancakes, and I'd just be sitting there, and I had these little pink cowboy boots. So yeah,
Proper.
yeah, super proper, you know.
Come on.
Yeah, make me some fucking pancakes.
Make me some fucking pancakes, Tree Stump. Stumpy for short.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
Damn.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
what was home life like? Is mom a wild child? I'm getting the feeling mom's a wild
Okay,
child.
so my mother. Okay, so we moved to San Carlos. I went to this elementary school called Benchley Weinberger. It was a magnet school, and my mom would take a lot of pills, and I'm sure she did a plethora of drugs. I mean, I know her and my dad did a lot of meth and stuff. You know. They lived in Barstow for a while.
There's nothing to do up there but meth.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, they ain't got shit in Barstow. What they got in Barstow? They got nothing.
A ghost
Fucking
town.
high. What is it? Long travel trucks and meth. Right? Am I right? That's about it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
you
Circle
know,
K.
she would take these pills, and she would just veg out on the couch. And so we had these cats, and I always wanted these kitties. You know, I was obsessed with cats when I was younger.
Right.
And so the cats get sick, and we have to take them to the vet. And so my mom kind of trips out, and she thinks that my oldest sister Mary and my stepdad killed the cats on purpose. So she takes me and my sister Josie, which is the middle child, and she takes us over to my grandma's and my dad's in Claremont. And she's like, they're trying to kill the cats, and we need to be over here. So then she goes to a mental hospital, and ever since then, I've lived with my grandma and my dad.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, but I would go visit her in Georgia. So she went to the mental hospital, and then she moved to Georgia. And so I remember being like this little kid that, like, I loved to dance, you know? And so I would dance in the backyard with, like, a broomstick. Like, I would take the bottom off, you know? And I would just, like, have, like, a baton, and I'd be dancing. And I'd see these airplanes, and I would think it was my mom, you know? And then one day I get a phone call, and I finally, like, put the dots together. Like, I've gone on these airplanes to go see my mom. Now she's calling me on the phone, so she's not in the airplanes anymore, you know?
Just clicked.
Yeah, it clicked.
Oh, I'm dumb. Anyways, where's our broomstick at?
Yes.
Let's go dance.
Let's go dance.
Go make me some pancakes.
Yeah.
Willie! The goddamn pancakes, Willie.
Damn, whatever happened to Willie?
Well, Willie is, he's dead now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So my mom lived in Georgia with him for a while, and he took care of her for a very long time. And then I moved out there when I was like 15, turning 16.
Mm-hmm.
And
Where in Georgia, by the way?
Marietta,
Oh.
the suburbs.
Yeah, right outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Someone pulled my hair. When I lived out there, I went to a house party, and they pulled my hair. Like, I went on the stage because there was a stage, and I was like, I'm a screamo, you know? And I was like, rah, rah, rah. And they were like, fuck this, get off the stage. And they, like, pulled my hair down. Yeah.
Not chill.
Not chill, man.
Yeah. I'm from
No.
the South. It wasn't a good time for us seeing kids.
No.
No, they didn't like us too much.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Damn it.
Super
Yeah.
weird. I thought when I moved out there, I thought everyone was, like, from Hillcrest because they wore the, you know, like the collared Hollister shirts.
Very fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how you switch coast and then it's like, you're not gay. You certainly dress like the gay boys out in California.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember showing up to high school out there, and I was like, I'm a greaser, you know? So I went through this phase where I'm like a greaser, you know? And so I went to school the very first day wearing like a pencil skirt, a white pencil skirt, and then these red high heels. They were like super tall. And then I had this horror pop shirt on, and it said Psycho Bitches Out of Hell. And I had these like victory rolls, and I walked up in there, and I was like, I'm Coty, and I'm from California. Yeah.
I'm sure that was well received.
Yeah. And then I got the same exact friends that I had out here.
That's dope.
You know? Like this, I got the same type of people, you know?
Stoners.
No,
Yep.
Yep.
Smoking the weed.
Smoking the ganja. The old devil's lettuce.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
So, yeah, it is, so I went out there. My mom, you know, she went through a lot, and at this point in her life, she wasn't really there. You know what I'm saying? And she had schizophrenia, bipolar, and so she didn't shower for the entire year that I was there, and her hair got into like this knot, and she thought people were like on the roof, and yeah. So I ended up moving back to California, and eventually a few years later, well, my stepdad divorces her, and she has to like move to her mom's in Gainesville.
Florida.
Yeah. No, Georgia. Gainesville, Georgia.
Florida. Oh.
Yeah. And she ended up going to jail in the mental home again, and all these different things. And apparently Willie dies during this time.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, like, I don't even know when he died, like what day or anything like that. I just know that he's passed away now.
Damn.
So,
Sounds
yeah.
like a rock star, though.
yeah.
Trey Stunt Willie held it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all that, yeah.
I mean, held it down for a year.
You know the lead singer of Will's band?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Willie looks like.
He just got a new
Steve.
nickname. Hey,
Yeah.
Tree Stump Steve.
Tree Stump Steve.
And all the, like,
Doesn't have the same ring, but.
yeah.
Which
the
band?
Sprung Monkey.
Okay, the
Yeah.
main band.
Yeah.
The
I'm
main
like, dude, you look like my stepdad.
Make me some fucking pancakes, bro.
Make me some fucking.
I
See,
want
right
some
there.
Fucking no.
Damn it.
The buttons are done.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
and when my sister met him too, like a few weeks ago at a show, she was all, "Oh my god, you look like my stepdad." And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, and he's just like, "You guys are funny."
This is weird. Okay, I have the internet. I know what the stepdad thing is. Anyways, I digress. So you go to live with grandma and dad from a very young age and on. What was that like? Because that's where most of our stories start, right? Is our
Yeah.
adolescence.
Yeah, I ditched school even in elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, there
wow.
was a neighbor that had these she made these awesome bologna sandwiches.
Mm.
So I'd miss the bus, and then I'd have to go over there and eat bologna sandwiches. I could take naps.
I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah.
Pancakes, bologna sandwiches. Like what? You have a trend.
Yeah.
I think her thing's
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, you got snacks?
Yeah.
Coty will hang out.
Right? And so my dad was sometimes he was off the handle. Sometimes if I hear a loud bang when at Carrie's house, like if someone closes the door really loud, like my body is still like, oh shit. Because dad's about to come down the hallway and fucking yell at us or throw something, you know what I mean? And so my Nana, she helped raise us. I remember sitting in her rocking chair, like fully like over her, and just like falling asleep like that. I loved my Nana. She made rice pudding.
Come on.
Right, here we
Come
go.
on.
She was a great cooker, and we would like travel with her and my grandpa to Missouri to the Lake of the Ozarks. So I grew up with my Nana like being pretty significant for a while, and then she passes away.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
How old were you when she passed away?
I was still in elementary school.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right when you're figuring shit out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And so then my grandpa, who they were together for a very long time,
Right.
always together, and he went right back into drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of sucked, you know what I mean? And so here's my dad with these 3 daughters, and we get to grow up in that house, though. You know what I mean? My dad was pretty funny. Like, he would come down the hallway, and he would, like, come and talk to you and, like, rub his back on the corner of the wall, and he'd, like, fart, So,
Just
like,
a roughneck dad, it sounds like.
yeah, you know what I mean? And he always played this video game called Quake.
Yeah.
So weird because he would do the mouse with his left hand, and you would just hear him in there in the room like clap, 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 clap. And like there's like Capture the Flag Quake Arena, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was so super into that, stoner. He had weed plant in the backyard. That's how I first smoked weed. Was I took some of that weed plant off and rolled it up.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Did it work?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
They always say you don't get high your first time.
Yeah.
I don't believe that because I got so fucking high my first time. It's like vividly burned into my brain the first time I smoked weed. Like, I just remember hitting this little like coffin. It was a coffin little wood pipe, and we had some Snickle Fritz, and we're on like my buddies.
Snickle.
Straight
what
up.
is
Is
that?
this like a
Some
Dirty
Snickle
South
Fritz.
thing? Like
No,
a Virginia
it's
Beach?
like the Pineapple Express movie. Like, oh, he doesn't get
Oh.
the Pineapple Express. He gets the Snickle Fritz.
Yeah.
It's the bullshit, the
It's-
mids,
oh,
the
the mech.
Reggie, the Labo, all that.
Yeah, my dad had that mech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, y'all had Mexican brickweed out here. We didn't.
Mhm.
We had that, but like 2 months older, and yeah, even more dog shit.
Yeah,
Totally stale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from New York. We had shit weed.
Yeah. So
That shit was
I
shit
ripped
weed.
this fucking coffin pipe, and I just remember the fuck. We're on my buddy's back deck. His mom is out fucking raging. They were partiers at this house, so we were always able to stay there.
Right.
And I just remember the lamp post, and I just like zoomed in on it. I was like, oh shit. It's burned in my brain forever. And then like my buddy Alan, it was at Kurt's house. Buddy Allen had eaten like strawberry ice cream, muffins, cookies, and like a bunch of other shit.
Yes.
And like I'm high as fuck. And like we're laughing and everything's good to go. And then Alan's like, I don't feel so good. And I remember looking over and seeing this fool projectile vomit into the garbage disposal. Right into the sink. It was
shit.
like, oh fuck. This is not chill. This is not fun anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Make it
That's
stop.
fucking great.
Damn it. What was your favorite munchie?
Oh,
Yeah, you're a food. This is
I loved pretzels.
can't knock it.
I still like pretzels.
I love a good pretzel.
Yeah.
Soft, crunchy, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved pretzels. You know, but I
Yeah.
also loved soda. And my dad would like hide these soda cans in his room, and I would literally when he was asleep, I would crawl in there. You know what I mean? And I would steal soda.
Damn.
Yeah.
like that.
Army crawl. You
You
know?
had an addictive personality from the jump.
Yeah, oh yeah. He had a waterbed too. That thing was pretty cool, man.
Did it pop
No.
when it went down?
I mean, it should have popped with all the women that he had over.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Whoa. You got to see that too?
Sick ass fool.
Damn. You know, as an adult though, have you ever laid in a waterbed? Not that
No.
comfy.
Mm-mm.
No,
Not that comfortable.
Mm-mm.
right?
When
Not
you're a
that
kid,
cool.
when you're a kid, it's
And
fucking dope.
Yeah.
Also, would not like to have sex in that.
No.
No, that's fucking it's always moving.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm gonna get you eventually.
Eventually, stop moving. Stop wiggling. Yeah, not
You know what?
interested.
Your weed story reminds me of when okay, so there was these girls and we always would like be like, okay, I'm gonna stay up longer than you. You know what I'm saying? So we do like a 3-day
Oh, when you
thing.
break night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd like sneak out and stuff, and we're like, I'm gonna stay up longer than you. So we'd sneak out. I'd take my dad's weed. We'd smoke it. You know what I mean? And then as we're walking home, any car that comes home, you gotta jump behind shit, go on people's porches. Sometimes, one time I had to jump in a backyard because there was a cop car. So I jumped in a backyard, but I went through every single backyard to get to my backyard.
Smart.
You know? So I get all the girls to come over to my house, and we're all at my house, and we're high as fuck. And I had like a pitcher of orange juice and pancakes, and I was like, you guys, I gotta pee. What do I do? And they're all, what? And I'm just like, I know what to do. And I just peed.
You just pissed yourself?
I just pissed myself.
Oh my God.
That was all legendary.
That is a legendary move.
Yeah.
It's like, now who wants some fucking pancakes? Tree stump Willie style.
Yeah, dude.
Why can't I envision? I can actually envision Graf doing that.
Right?
I can actually envision you like, it's all right. I know what to do. Just peeing on yourself.
Because sometimes I feel like I did shit just to fucking talk about it later. You know what I mean?
Right.
For sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
I am notorious for doing that. My friends, as I grew older, we had this thing that was like, no balls, you won't do that. And as soon as somebody said that to me, I was usually half cocked to begin with. I would do whatever it was. So I've done the aqua dump and hotel pools at the ocean front.
Yes.
You're familiar.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And I've shit in a cat box.
Oh wow.
Pissed in it too. Because my sisters, we would go on these road trips, right? And like we'd get home, someone would get the sink, someone would get the toilet, someone would get the fucking
Oh my God.
the bathtub, and there was a cat box. So I just fucking shit in that and peed in it too. It was
Just
perfect.
to piss your sisters off, like, who took a shit in the cat box? Who?
Just,
Yeah.
just to say I fucking did
Where
it.
are you within the mix? Are you the middle or the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
You're the baby?
Yeah.
You're a fucking terrorist.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like, oh, hey, you got to clean the litter box? Huh, have fun. I've been saving that for 2 days. Been eating nothing but pretzels and pancakes. Come on.
Oh my God. I didn't give a fuck.
The litter box smells like battery acid. What the fuck? Smells like soda pop and fucking pretzels in here. Coty, I was not prepared. I was not. Yeah. Cat, what's wrong with the cats? They won't shit in the litter box anymore. I don't know. Somebody asserted dominance on it. Cats fucking didn't fuck with you no more. Who's the alpha now?
Okay, but listen, I acted like I know what an aqua dump is. I acted like I know what an aqua dump is, okay? But I would imagine you just like shit in the pool.
You jump in the pool and take a shit and then leave. Yeah. Yeah. I did that.
You're a fucking savage.
Yeah. At the Cavalier in Virginia Beach, and if anybody knows that, it's like a prestigious, like
Yeah.
massive hotel. I aqua dumped the Cav.
Yo.
I've chugged like IHOP used to bring you out warm syrup. I don't know
Yeah.
if they still do that. Well, this one came in a fucking, and I was hammered drunk for my buddy's 21st birthday, and they brought it out in a styrofoam cup, and I was like, I'll chug it. And they were like, no balls. So I chugged that. I've also chugged salsa.
Oh
Like,
God.
Yeah, but it was East Coast salsa, so it's like not that crazy. It's like
yeah.
salsa fresca.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of dumb shit.
I
I
Yeah.
think you could top that.
can't top shitting in a cat box. That
Yeah.
fucking
I fucking
Hey.
died, bro. That's
best
Hey.
dressed,
that's
best
the
story.
All
That's
right.
the most I ever laughed on the show.
Yeah.
I've never.
That was.
I fucking near cried, dog.
Yeah, she
That
came out
shit
of left
was
field
tough.
with that.
Yeah.
I also remember this. Okay, so like when I was younger, my dad had these girlfriends, and they had these kids, these daughters, and like I was
Little
very
bitches.
I was very curious about my dad's like magazines and stuff, and my dad had like a lot of computers and stuff. And so like me and the girlfriend's kids, we were very curious about that stuff, you know what I mean? And so we tried to get one of the neighbor girls down the street to like be curious with us, and she kind of like wasn't. You know what I mean? And
Sounds like a snitch.
yeah, and I like tried to like I
Yeah.
had one of those princess things over my bed with the net,
Yeah.
right? And I tried to like kiss her. She like ran away. So I was like, man, fuck her,
Like, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, so I go out at night and they had like perfect lawn, like fake grass. So I shit on the lawn. And I put flowers in it.
Oh my God. What the fuck is happening, Coty? Are you like telling us stuff that you've never told anybody before, or
No.
is this common knowledge?
Oh, I tell it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell people.
I don't give a fuck.
I told you, man, I'm impulsive. I'll just say it. You know what I mean?
I'm blown away.
I got.
I am never gonna get on your bad side because I don't want you to shit in a brown paper bag and leave it on my doorstep.
Dude, fuck that. She'll probably shit inside of the windshield. Fucking thing, dog.
Yeah.
They just what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh wow.
My sister's husband calls it Sparks
man.
shit 30.
What's that?
What?
Like it's shit 30 because we're always shitting.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
We're
It's a
humans.
thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I thought we were like entering your Leslie phase. Nope.
No.
Just your revenge phase.
This is my revenge phase. Yeah.
Love it.
I did have a serious Leslie phase.
Yeah?
Yeah. But okay, let's see here.
Oh yeah,
Where are we?
we haven't even touched down into drugs yet.
No, we haven't.
This is not good.
Hold on.
Fortunately, you were constipated for most of your drug use.
Yeah.
You know?
Hold on. So you, around all this time, this is just you,
Yeah. That's just me.
high, drunk. No,
No.
No.
just shitting in cat boxes, sending it.
Yeah. Playing with batons.
Come on. Looking at hustlers.
But I pretty much had an addictive personality, you know what I mean?
From
And I
the
always
jump.
I wanted to get into everything. My nana would lock the door and like go on these trips. I wanted to get in there, you know? And when
Why is it locked?
yeah.
What's in there?
Why is this locked?
What are they hiding?
You know? Yeah.
What's underneath the bed?
Yeah. I remember like taking cement from the neighbor's house at nighttime. I like planned it all out. I was going to go take this cement, bring it back to my house, and then and I played with it like I was like it was a potion, you know? Just mixing it around. And me and my neighbors, we would make stink bombs and throw them at each other. One time they peed over the wall. They peed over the brick wall.
What a bastard.
Or maybe we did.
Jesus.
I'm not sure, man. I don't know. You'd have to ask my sister that one. But
Alright.
What's
yeah.
the age difference between you and your sisters?
Okay, so my sister Josie, she's actually, I was born on her birthday.
No.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're 3 years apart. And I was born on her birthday.
I'm
Yeah.
sure she loves that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had a dream about her last night, too. That's crazy.
Good dream?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
You didn't shit on her doorstep, did you?
No,
No.
dude.
Still an option, though.
Still an option.
Oh, my God.
And then my sister Mary, she was born in 1987. I'm 91. She's like 4 or 5 years older than me.
4 years.
4 years? Yeah. Yeah. And then we also have another sister. She's the oldest sister, but we never really, my sister Mary lived with her, but she moved to Georgia. I have a niece from her, and her name's Brandy. She's cool, you know?
Brandy, Mary, Josie, Coty.
Yeah, all the E,
Got
you
it.
know? Yeah. So, yeah, man, like, I always just, if my sister Josie wanted anything, I would go and I'd get it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You two sound like the tightest.
yeah, we were pretty tight. I always looked up to Mary, my older sister, and Josie.
Mm-hmm.
Josie was very smart. She always went to school. She has 2 degrees. One's in finance, one's in media, fine arts. So it's both 2 different sides. You know what I mean? Mary is very creative. She is super funny. She's super out there. She majored in interior design, but now she's going to school to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both pretty awesome women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they helped raise me.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
My dad, he ended up getting disability, so he was a electrician.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that one better.
Yeah, he was an electrician, and yeah, he actually worked at those big boobs, the San Onofre.
Yeah.
He worked at the very top of them.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So his back was fucked up, and he has arthritis and but he was always smoking his weed. You know, get disability.
Blazing the
Smoking
kush.
the weed. Yeah. I remember also I showed him how to make weed cookies one time, and then
Nice.
he just went with it. He was like, "All right, yeah, cheesecloth," and then he just started to do his own thing. And so when my grandpa moved back in with us, because he left for a while with my uncle once he had started to drink once my Nana died. You know, again he started to drink again. He was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he came back and we were taking care of him, we would give him these weed cookies.
Mm.
Sometimes you would see him in the middle of the night trying to get into the
I'll get
jar.
some more, huh?
you
Come
know?
on.
Yeah.
Trying to get them weed cookies.
Yeah.
Come on, G-Paw. I know what
Yeah.
you're doing. Get away from the cookies.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's, I also remember really loving clothes. And so, when I'd get in trouble, my Nana took away my clothes from me. She hid them in the rafters. And so I had to wear, the same outfit for a whole week to school.
Damn.
I remember having these nightmares where I'd be like, oh, my God, I don't have any shoes. You know? But it wasn't so. It wasn't real.
That's so crazy that happens to you as women, troublemakers. Because that happened to my lady, Bethany. If she got into it, they would take her records, and then they would take her clothes.
Yeah.
And she would have to wear, basic shit. And that was, the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't
So
imagine.
the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, my mom would just lock me in the house, and I would get on her fucking nerves until she's like, just get the fuck out. Just leave.
My mom would send me across the country.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah.
Once. And
All the time.
my dad had to he had to nail my window shut from the outside
Oh, boy.
or screw it. It's a
Yeah.
screw, right? I didn't care because I just waited till he went in the shower. I took his keys, skated up to the liquor store, made duplicate of the keys. You know those gates? You can have gates on your windows, right? I think they're for
For
security.
breaking in.
In,
Yeah.
right? So we had one in the back door, and there was a deadbolt, So if he locked that, I couldn't leave. Well, I can now,
Yeah.
because I got a duplicate key, you know?
Oh, wow.
Just put those back in there while you're in the shower, and all's good and well, you know?
So now at this point you're in middle school. What was high school like?
High school? Well, okay, so in middle school, that's when I had this friend named Trevor Price. I mean, whoa. I don't know if we should put last name.
We'll breeze over that.
TP.
TP.
He skateboarded, and I thought he was the coolest thing, and he taught me how to skateboard. We drank his dad's Smirnoff Ice one night, you know, and
His dad's Smirnoff Ice?
yeah,
Damn.
out of the cooler,
Nice.
you know? And
Damn.
and so that we all started to sneak out, sneak out. We'd get bottles of wine, you know. We couldn't open them, so we there
Push
was
the cork into the bottle.
that too, or
Yeah.
you break it over a strainer, and then it strains into a bucket.
Smart.
I think I remember doing that.
Savage.
You
We used to
know?
just push the cork in there, and you would have to drink pieces of the cork.
That's smart,
Yeah.
you know. That's smart stuff.
Yeah.
Those space bags.
Yeah.
You know, you smack 'em.
the bag.
Yeah. And so then we, I remember in middle school, I ditched a lot then too, and we smoked a lot of weed, drank. Going into high school, so I really loved to dance, right?
Right.
And my sister was like, okay, we're going to get you an audition for SCPA. So I ended up auditioning for the School of Creative and Performing Arts. And I didn't know what I was doing, you know, and I had made this entire like solo, and I was going to perform it. And then the day came, and I like didn't bring my CD. I was like, I'm not going to do it.
No way.
You know? So we get there, and like I just basically, for the audition, I was on the ballet bar, and I just did whatever everyone else was doing in front of me. I copied, right? Because I grew up like copying Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera on the TV. Right. That was my thing. Like pause, copy, make my own shit, show my nana, show my dad, record myself. Or I'd make like Trevor and Michael watch me in my backyard with a baton and a fucking stool, you know? But yeah, so I auditioned for that, and then the time came where everybody did their solos, and I was like, dude, I gotta do my solo. So I asked this girl, can I use one of your songs on your CD? She's like, yeah. And so I just freestyled to it. I made it into the high school.
Damn.
Yeah, it's super cool. I had this amazing dance teacher. She was freaking badass for modern dance. And so I go to high school at SCPA, but I have these friends in Claremont, and so I still wanted to ditch all the time. You know what I mean? So I'd go and take the bus all the way there, and I'd go to dance class, and then I would, like, ditch, you know? And I would drink Mad Dogs. I remember this guy named Pepe Le Pew. He was tiny, you know? And we would, like, smoke weed, drink. And at this time, I ended up doing, like, shrooms and ecstasy around this time, too.
Right.
You know? And we would go down to the Bay or just, like, different parks and people's houses, and we were just doing shrooms and ecstasy. Mm-hmm. I remember there was one 420, I ditched school, and I went over to my friend Michael's house, and I did a whole 1/8 of shrooms, and I was tripping balls. And this guy, Mondo, like, he drove us over to his house.
Right.
And they were like, okay, we're going to go get everybody from Claremont High School. So I stayed at Mondo's house, and I was like, oh, you should put on Jeepers Creepers, man.
Wow. That's not chill.
Right? Because my mom loved scary movies. So I was like, let's watch scary movies, you know?
How did that feel?
It wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was tripping by the time, like, Trevor was my best friend for a very long time, and I remember him being on the couch, and I was looking over at him, and, like, he had no legs, you know? And I was just scared of him.
What?
I'm sorry. Is that supposed to be red?
Yeah.
My bad.
And then, so I was totally scared of him, and I was like, and I was looking, I'm like, what the fuck? You know? And this is my best friend, but he has no legs, you know? And, like, nobody's saying anything, and then, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, I go, shut the fuck up, Harley! And, like, Harley's sitting over there, and, like, we're just all tripping on shrooms, and I go out to Trevor's like, you want to smoke a cigarette? So we go out into the front yard, and we just smoke. The whole world's condensed. It was small at this time, you know? And so to get out of that, I ended up doing ecstasy, the candy flipping or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so some things happen. I meet some people down the road that lived in the same neighborhood, and I ended up going over there, and, like, we would do shrooms and stuff, and he had all the good weed, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, because my dad had meth, so this guy had, like, the best weed, and then I end up getting pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yes. And so I go and I get an abortion. And so I moved to Georgia for that. You know?
That's what took you out to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Got
Yeah.
it.
And, like, I got suspended from the SCBA a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Like, and, like, one time that I was suspended, they called me, and I remember sitting in my garage and, like, smoking cigarettes. And they're like, are you home? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, because somebody broke into all these locker rooms over here at the school. And like, I hadn't done it. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's basically, like, what
The reputation you had built
Yeah.
for yourself.
You know what I mean? And so that kind of fucking sucked, you know? So I moved to Georgia, and I get an abortion out there, and I remember going down to this hospital, like down in the very bottom of it, and having this abortion. It was kind of like, it's kind of dark and dim. You know what I mean? It was pretty weird.
Right.
And then I end up staying at my mom's in Georgia, and like, I remember my sister leaving, and like I was putting all my stuff. She goes back to California. You know, she flies with me there, goes back.
Right.
And I'm like in my walk-in closet in Georgia, and I'm like putting all my stuff away, and I find some like some weed that I had rolled up, and like, because I would hide joints everywhere in my room, you know.
Smart.
Yeah. So I found that, and so I smoked it in that closet, and I remember that feeling of like, what the fuck is my life? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what, the whole time you're in Georgia, you're not doing anything? You're not doing drugs or
no.
weed, nothing?
I totally did.
Oh, totally did.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like as soon as you got home, it's like, fuck, here we are again.
Yeah. Like I was out in Georgia, and like I was putting all my stuff away in my walk-in closet, and I found that weed, and I started smoking it, and I was like, what is this? I was like, I didn't have anyone. My mom's kind of not really here. You know what I mean? My stepdad, Willie, is he always stayed in his room at this point in life, right? And so it was just I didn't have my sisters, I didn't have my dad. It was all unknown. You know what I mean? So I go to high school out there, find the same group of people smoking weed. But at this point, I start to do Xanax. And so we do a bunch of Xanax. We drive around. Hours go by. I fucking wake up one time. I'm like halfway in my window, halfway out of it, like hanging on the bed, you know? And like before that, I had just done like a YouTube video where I'm like doing a shotgun in a beer, you know, and I'm like, watch me do this, you know, and like, yeah, that's how it was. And I found the same type of people. We partied, and like I dropped out of school, you know, and
what grade did you drop out?
I think it was 10th grade,
Oh, wow.
10th or 11th. I'm really
Sophomore.
bad with time frames. Cause like it was all fucking chaos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There was no, there's, if I sit there and really think about it, I could think of all the time frames, but
Yeah.
it was either like 10th or 11th grade.
Right on.
I'm pretty sure 11th, cause I was 16 going on 17 when I moved back out here. I was 17.
Right.
Yeah, and so I come back out here. I end up graduating through charter school, and best decision, right? Because I can actually get shit done.
Mm-hmm.
And then at this point, I find cocaine, and I fall in love with cocaine. And I remember I auditioned to be Elmo and Abby Cadabby at SeaWorld. But I was too short for Elmo, so I was Abby Cadabby for a few years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was super cool, but I had to do a hair follicle test. And so I was like, fuck, Dad. And I had to tell my dad, like, well, I think it's from weed, you know? But really, I'm tripping on this coke, you know? Because at this point, the weed, when I moved back out here, was too fucking potent, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was getting there in Georgia, and, like, I remember throwing up. Like, we sat around and, like, passed around blunts. I remember throwing up out there. But I just was like, I'm good on the weed, you know?
Right.
So I just start doing this cocaine. And so anyways, he drives me to one of those smoke shops. I get the stuff for your hair. I do baking soda, all that stuff, and I pass a hair follicle test.
Sick.
Yeah, and it's good for like 3 years, you know? So here I am at SeaWorld, and I'm performing as Abby Cadabby, and it was a really great time in my life, you know? A lot of fun times. But I remember doing so much cocaine that, like, sometimes I would have to call out, you know, so they could never keep me on full time. I always had to re-audition every season,
Oh wow.
Oh,
you know, because I was so inconsistent, so unreliable.
Right.
But I was, like, this great performer. So, like, I see a lot in my life now where my dance teacher in high school, she was like, I got suspended one time, and she was like, well, can she do in-house suspension? Like, come to school, sit in the office, because I want her to be in this dance, you know?
Right.
And so there was a lot of times where I had all this potential that people saw, But I was just wreaking havoc. You know, there's a lot of times in my life where I could have done a bunch of things, but it just didn't go that way because like drugs were first, you know, and adrenaline was first. Drugs and adrenaline. So cocaine was pretty apparent in my life, and I did that for many, many years. And drinking, you know, and then like I remember having to come home one day and my fucking tooth falls out. And so I start tripping, and I think that it's from the drugs, which it probably is. You know, I'm not brushing my fucking teeth at this time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I have to tell my dad, and he's like, "What'd you do?" And he like names off all the things, heroin, meth, you know. And I'm like, "No." And I was like, "It's just cocaine," you know. And he teaches me how to like throw up, you know, because once the cocaine wears off, you're drunk as fuck, you know. So he teaches me how to like throw up. I throw up in the toilet. I feel a little better. I have some soup. And, but now I know, you know, that I'm going to be really drunk if I continue to drink a lot while I do cocaine.
Right.
Oh,
So I just did cocaine all the time, you know?
Right.
And, let's see. So then my family wants me to, and I'm like, I was on this burlesque team for a while. That was like super rad. And I was working at SeaWorld. And then my family wants me to, like, go to school for something, you know? And, like, I had gone to Mesa College for a few things, you know, but I didn't really finish that. So I go up to Temecula, and I go to hair school, Paul Mitchell, you know? And I live with my sister Josie in Fallbrook. And I had this boyfriend, and that's when I learned how to drive a stick shift. My dad gave me his truck, his 4Runner.
Nice.
And so, like, I would have to drive that to school every day. So it was just, like, I'd be, like, on these hills and I'd be, like, stuck. You know? And I'd be, like, and these people would be, like, honking and be, like, just go around, man. Go around. Because, like, I'm literally going to fall backwards into you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, nothing more fun than having to use all three pedals at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, hold the brake, rev the shit out of it, dump the clutch, and just fucking get it going.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But that thing was sick because if you fucking run out of gas or something, like, you can just coast. You can just pop the clutch, you know what I mean, to restart it. You know, I had a starter wire that stopped working or whatever. My dad, like,
Taught you how to bump start?
Yeah, taught me how to bump start. We also had this, like, red wire that came out that you, like, put on the battery to get it started, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So, like, one time I thought I had it, like, in neutral. I didn't. I had it in first gear.
Started it. Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
On motorcycles, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. I embarrassed the shit out of myself. I was up in Portland doing shows, and there's like a whole crew of dudes up there, solid ass dudes, and they had a bike for me, and they let me ride. We get to like this like ski resort, and it's time to leave, and I have the homie's bike, and I got it by the handlebars. I left it in first gear, and I went to fucking start it at Lurch Fort, almost knocked over another dude's bike. And they're like, "Oh, way to go, fucking LFG, fucking idiot!" I'm like, great, I'll never live this down. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I loved that truck too. I remember like. And so I would drive it to go see that boyfriend all the time. Like,
fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. I would drive up to Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh, God.
Dude, so my dad.
That's a fucking drive.
That's a mish.
Right.
What do you mean that's not that bad?
And Bro, by the sounds of it,
from
it sounds
Temecula.
Like
yeah, it's not so bad. Like an hour.
He's from the IE, and
yeah,
it's all dude. The IE, it's sick. It's not sick.
No, it's it's shitty ass traffic.
San Diego is God's country.
This is God's country.
Jesus, you're not even from. That's weird because I pay taxes here. I'm from here now.
Yeah, dude, you can shoot your gun anywhere over there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Pow.
It's like Texas.
Yeah.
Shit, you could do that out here too.
Yeah, you could do that out
here
too.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
East County built different.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
There's a lot of people that are just pulling out guns wherever the fuck they want nowadays, and that's scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Better strap up.
Yeah.
But back to this toxic boyfriend as it sounds.
Oh man.
I mean, he sounds like a real fucking treat.
A real winner.
Yeah,
he was in the military. His name was
yeah.
Roger.
Roger.
But before that, I had another boyfriend named Roger.
Got a thing for Rogers?
I had a thing for Rogers.
Rogers, pretzels, and fucking pancakes. Come
Roger Dodger, you
Come
know?
on.
Yeah. And so that was the second Roger, and he was in the military. So he ended up going out there for mechanic school, whatever.
Yeah.
UTI. That's what it was called. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah. And I know that sounds like something else, which that also means something else.
Yeah.
It's an infection, right?
Urinary tract.
So obviously this guy's going to school because he's an infection.
Yeah. And you're dating him.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, like, my dad's giving me some money to pay off for the rest of this school, you know what I mean? And my aunt also works there at the time. She's not my real aunt. She was my dad's best friend's wife, but she was a pretty monumental woman in my life, Tanya. We always went to her house for Christmas. We always went to go visit her. We'd go up for football games up to Fallbrook. So I'm living in Fallbrook, going to school in Temecula. This guy doesn't really know that I do cocaine, but I drink with him. He drinks, so it's like it doesn't fucking matter, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It does. It does when your girl's out drinking you, and you're like, "What the fuck's happening, bro?"
Yeah.
And you're
And she-
still
and
like
she's
in a
like,
great mood.
Yeah. And there would be times where I'd go all the way over there, and then I wouldn't have any cocaine.
Ugh.
And I'd be drinking, and so I'd get the itch for cocaine, and then I'd fucking, of course, you know, be like, I gotta go,
Yeah.
you know, and I'd drive all the way to San Diego to my buddy's house, and I'd get the cocaine.
For a gram.
I'd do it for the gram.
Did it for the gram.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of gram back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, dude. And so all the money, all the tuition money that was spent on that
Ugh.
coke and gas.
Damn.
Yeah. I
Damn.
remember, one time I was driving. I was so coked out, and I was trying to get to school in the morning. I drove from San Diego to Fallbrook to change, and I had to pee so bad, so I was trying to find a place to pee in a neighborhood, you know, behind someone's trash can or something. And the sun was coming up, so everybody was in their kitchen.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, well, I'm going to just have to pee. And so I just peed, you know?
Yourself?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
This is a recurring thing.
Hey, you're consistent. I'll give you that, Cody. God damn.
That was the only consistent thing in my life was
Chaos.
chaos.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? So that goes down, and I end up getting kicked out of Paul Mitchell. They do it in a nice way, right?
Please stop coming.
Yes. Because you're not coming anyways, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
But I
Right,
was
right.
on the floor. I was doing hair. You know what I mean? And I actually was pretty good at it, you know?
How old are
Um,
you at this point?
I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to come back to San Diego. I'm going to re-audition for SeaWorld. I'm going to do what I love, you know? So I re-auditioned for SeaWorld. At this time, they're like, okay, we're changing the height requirement for Elmo. Fuck yeah, I get to be Elmo, you know? So I get to sit like a man and do, it's a much lighter costume, you know? And you can move around your head way better. Like that Abby Cadabby costume was so heavy. It had like metal bars for the ponytails, the little pom-poms.
Holy shit.
So it's super, like, I have neck problems now. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And because I would go full out. I'd be on cocaine in this costume, like, on a boat, like, just going full out, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember cocaine just dripping down my face.
Ugh.
And I couldn't move it. I didn't have my hands, you know? And so I would just be like,
Sucking it in.
yeah, numb, dude.
Yeah.
By the time you take it off, you're all,
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
Yeah. Gagging because the drip's so good. You're like, oh.
yeah. Go and get a cigarette and then and smoke it. No, go and get an icy, smoke a cigarette in the by the break area, you know? Fuck yeah, dude. All
Fuck
sweaty
yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. And so to this day, like when I work out, like I don't think I'm getting a good workout unless I'm fucking sweating.
Yeah.
Like I messed up my knee, right? So I have to do but I love cardio, so I'm on this doing this elliptical, and I'm fucking you know, and I'm like, if I don't sweat like a motherfucker, then I ain't doing shit, you know?
Hey, people talk shit on the elliptical, but you crank that fucker up to level 20 and go as hard as you can, you will get broke off.
Damn, I haven't tried. I'm on 14.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Level
anywhere from
14.
like 10 to 20 is fucking
Yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah, dude. And if you do like I do the, what would you call it, hit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down, up and down. But yeah, I mean, that's how I get my cardio fix off nowadays until I really heal. So At this point, I come back down here. I'm doing that, and I try out for Madagascar Live. They did like a show for a summer at SeaWorld. So I got to play Private the Penguin, with the eye. It goes over there, and it's like, hi, and the penguin dancing. It was like a backpack. You get inside of it. You clip in. There's like broomsticks, right, for the little arms.
Right.
So I know what this is about,
I got this.
I got my fucking broomsticks. And then
Yeah.
you got to walk like a penguin. And you're basically on this show for like 20 minutes on stage doing Madagascar Live. So that was cool. But the very last day, I'm too fucked up to go. And I had done a bunch of ecstasy and cocaine, and I was hanging upside down on a fucking couch. We were laughing about this picture of this guy wearing shoes that looked like loaves of bread.
Sick ass phone.
But I thought it was wood. So we were laughing because I was like, you're going to get termites. I don't know. It's just the funniest thing. But I was like, I got to call out,
Right.
So I'm totally embarrassed, and I didn't even call out, I don't think,
No
Show
call,
up.
no show.
No call, no show, last show of the season.
Oofed.
So, like, I'm embarrassed to go back there, at this point. So I tried a bunch of different other jobs and still doing my cocaine thing. At this time, I worked at Roadrunner Sports for a while. I fucked that up. I wanted to sell a bunch of VIP memberships, and I did it in the wrong way. You know what I mean? So I could be on the top, so I could get a bonus. So I ended
They fired you.
yeah, basically. But I had this really awesome boss. His name was Ron, and he could tell something was wrong. And he gave me that book, The Secret.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and that's another point in my life where, people see this potential in you, but there's something going on, And also at that point in my life,
Did you ever notice that, like, like coming up, like, did you ever notice that, like, hey, I got a problem? Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Did you ever try recovery early or no?
Yeah, I did. So I would go on these benders, with cocaine or whatever, and then I'd finally get home and I'd be able to go to sleep. I would take whatever pills I had to take to go to sleep.
Right.
And I'd wake up and then I'd be at my house for like 2 or 3 days recovering, And I remember one night I was on my laptop and it was super dark in my room, and I was like, there's something wrong. There's something different, And I really gotta fix this. So I ended up going to the PB Alano Club to an AA meeting there for like 30 days. I get the red AA chip, And I don't think I understood anything that was going on. You know what I mean? I was just like, okay, I did it for 30 days. I'm good. I can do this. And then the cocaine became more apparent in my life, and so even after that, like it got worse.
Yeah. Did you ever try to be like, were you like, all right, as long as I'm not drinking, I'm doing coke, so
yeah,
I don't have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm gonna try to cut out the cocaine and just I'll just drink. I'm not doing coke.
I always did the coke. I didn't really
coke.
like drinking.
As
Like
an
I would,
accessory.
I would drink and stuff, just like at first it was social to get fucked up, and but I didn't really like the feeling of it. I don't like the taste either.
Right.
So cocaine was it for me, and then I remember like I hated when I would have to leave work on my lunch break and the coke dealer wasn't ready for me to have my coke. So, like, my coke dealer at the time had this blonde girlfriend, and I had her meet my dad because, my dad, like, here's this cute blonde girl. They need a room to rent, And he's like, yeah. So I moved my coke dealer and his girlfriend into my dad's house, and so anytime I left on lunch, I would go and get my coke from the house. I could do it anytime. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at this point, I'm
Smart.
living with a boyfriend in La Mesa. It was smart,
It was very smart.
I worked like right down the street too at this dance company called Dance for Two, but it was ballroom dancing, so I didn't know shit about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about ballroom dancing, but I did it for a while, And then I'm living in La Mesa with this guy. His name was Joseph, and one night there was no more cocaine, and so I'm at this house. Like, I was fucked up to that guy. Like, he was a good boyfriend. There was parts that were really good. You know, we would cook together. He was supportive. He listened to me. His daughter lived there with us. But he also did coke with me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And, but I didn't give a shit. Like, if I wanted to go use and he had to go work or be with his daughter, like, I didn't care. And I would just, like, go and hang out with my friends in Claremont, you know?
Mm.
And I'd totally shine him. Like, if he called the phone, like, fuck that. I'm not answering, you know?
Yeah.
When I probably could have totally just been like, I'm still fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not coming home right now, you know?
Right, right.
So, yeah, I remember this girl one night was like, well, we have some meth. And I remember thinking, like, if I just snort this, it's just like cocaine, you know?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember snorting it, and I went
shit burned your shit,
oh, yeah. I went to fucking 3 interviews the next day.
Ah!
Sounds about right.
Because I ended up losing that other job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
Fuck.
whew, yeah. And I remember putting some of it away in my center console. And so I go to these 3 interviews that day, and I think I was up for a little while longer. I did a little more the next night, you know. I was like, you got any more, you know? And then I go home to the boyfriend's house, and I stay there for like a month.
Oh.
And I don't leave the house, you know? But that coke dealer's still living at my dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so my boyfriend would go and get coke from there and, like, bring it home sometimes. But I'd be like, dude, where's all the fucking coke? You know, like, he was fucking doing it. You know what I mean? And so that pissed me off too. And so I remember one night that meth was left in my center console. So I do it. And this girl, Taylor, hits me up and, like, she's like, you want to go out tonight? So I leave the house in my pajamas with my purse. I leave my car there. I don't even go back there. I leave. And
Like, permanently?
yeah.
Like, just forgot about the car?
No, I go back for the car later.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But I'm gone for a while.
A while. Like, days?
Like days.
Nice.
You know?
PJs in your purse.
Yeah, PJs in my purse. I end up meeting this dude who I ended up marrying.
Let's just, all right, fuck. I married him.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So
Impulsive, huh?
impulsive as fuck.
An understatement.
Yeah.
Literally an understatement.
Think so?
You are the definition of impulsive.
Think so?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Proceed, please.
So he was sitting on a toolbox. I remember this.
Hold on, this is the
Hell
guy.
yeah, I'm
Hold
all
on.
rocked up already.
This is the guy that you're currently married to, or no?
I do have to divorce him still. Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. He's away right now.
Yeah, he's indisposed.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they tend to be when they sit on toolboxes looking sexy.
Right. Right.
Motherfuckers.
So we'll call him Junior, right?
Junebug.
Yeah, that's what I used to call him. Oh,
I-
Junebug.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
Tell me more.
And so I end up being with this guy for
Years.
a while. Not even years, dude. At this point, I'm like 24 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm on meth.
Oh, boy. And Junebug's there.
And Junebug is there, and this was like I isolated from all my friends in Claremont. You know what I mean? They did not like this guy. Some of I met him through some friends in Claremont, but like that skate crew, that initial, like, Michael and Trevor and Lacey, and this girl Ashley, like,
The OG homies.
yeah, man, like, I totally, like, I isolated from them. I didn't care what Trevor had to say to me when he tried to help me. I got mad at him. I stormed out of his car. I was in the Vallarta parking lot in Claremont, and I was like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, you know? And he was trying to help me.
Right.
And, like, I remember, so that guy that I married, Junior, he had just gotten out of prison like 3 years before that.
Yeah.
And he was getting off of the
Probo.
Yeah, and he technically wasn't allowed to be in San Diego County, so he lived up in Temecula.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and so we would like go up there and do whatever we did. We go to casinos, we'd come back down. Yeah, and I remember I think it was someone's birthday, so we went to the Blarney Stone in Claremont, and he ended up tripping out, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I leave in my Celica and I drive home, and he thinks I leave with. No, I don't. Yeah, no, I leave in my Celica. I drive home. He thinks I leave with them, so he follows them, and they're like driving, and he's like following them.
Following who? Trevor?
My friends, yeah, Trevor and Lacey. And he's like following them, and
his disease is real.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And so I remember like being outside of my house, and it was kind of dark in the front of my house, and we had this like gate, you know. So I'm like in the shadows, and I see somebody pull up next to my Celica, and I'm just trying to hide, you know, and I don't want him to see that I'm out here, and I see him stab my tire, yeah, and I was like, what the fuck, dude, you know, and so I tell him I know that he did it, that my neighbor saw it, it was on camera, all this stuff, so he ends up getting me another tire. All this shit goes down, man.
And you're still like
And tweaking.
tweaking.
Toolbox Junior.
Toolbox Junior.
Toolbox Junior.
Treestone Willie and Toolbox Junior, baby. Come on.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, dude. So.
And y'all are married when he stabbed your tire.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We haven't taken the nuptials.
That was the move.
Yeah. That was the move that won me over.
I love you so much.
Yeah, dude.
Why do you make me do this?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, like, I remember there was one time where it was his birthday week, and he had all these free rooms at these casinos, and we were, like, supposed to go to all the casinos and do, like, this fucking
Tour de la Casino.
Tour de la Casino. And he fell asleep, and he didn't want me to let him fall asleep, and we were at his mom's house, so I let him fall asleep. I'm like, this motherfucker needs to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
He's being weird.
Yeah. Wiggly. Like, please sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, wiggles. Have a nap.
Yeah. And so then he wakes up, and he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, you know?
Yeah.
Well, there was no bed, but fucking.
The air mattress.
Right. And so, like, he's pissed off, and we're yelling at each other, and I storm out of there, and I get in my car, and it takes me, like, an hour to get from the top of this hill that we're on, right? And, all the way to Bay Park because I'm so pissed off. And so I go to this person's house. I meet this chick there, and she's like, has the meth. She's a lesbian, long black hair.
Is this where our leslie phase picks up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scissor me timbers.
Right? And so she's like, let's go to the Valley or whatever in LA, right?
Oh, God.
So we go up there. And I just leave with her, and I'm up there for like a month, and we're doing lesbian things, and the lesbian life is real. I remember taking her car and fucking going to Target and trying to steal a bunch of stuff, and they got me. So I'm in like I like had to go and be like cited in a jail place for a little bit, but I got picked up. I got let out.
Let go.
And then did she pick up her car and you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That lesbian love, baby.
Yeah, dude. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I got to get the fuck out of here. So I hit up Junior again, and I'm like, please come get me.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Toolbox
Coty.
Junior.
And he's about to come or whatever, but then I don't answer his calls because I'm like, okay, wait, lesbian's time is still on.
Yeah.
You know. And then I tell her.
I would have been pissed if I came from San Diego to San Fernando Valley to pick somebody up and they were just ghosting me, because I don't like LA.
And then you gotta add. Then you gotta add the fact that homeboy's like tweaking.
Yeah.
On a toolbox.
On a toolbox. On or around a toolbox.
And it's in a probably like a old Tacoma or U-Haul.
Yeah.
What do you had?
You know,
he had a Toyota.
a
There you
Yoda.
go. There it is.
Out of everything you've done,
I hit that one
that's
on
the
the head.
rudest thing you've done.
Yeah.
That is shit in my lawn, fucking steal my car. Don't fucking make me drive 4 hours through traffic and then leave me hanging.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I left him hanging, man.
Tough.
Damn.
I bet you he still answered the call though.
Yeah.
'Cause we're not married yet.
Nope.
Oh boy.
Hold on, you did.
He's not even married yet.
No, and actually, his first baby mama.
Damn, girl, I love you.
Right? His first baby mama ended up wanting to go back with him and saying, like, you can see your kid if you're with me. Not me, her, right? You can see your kid if you're with me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so at this point, I find out I'm pregnant, right? And so I, like, stay home. I stay at my dad's house. I sleep a lot. And my dad's friend notices something is wrong with me, you know? And she comes in the room and she's like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, yeah. And, like, I remember I was supposed to go and get an abortion, but I didn't, you know? And so I end up having my daughter, and he ends up going back to prison. And so I'm told, or I believe, that if I marry this guy, I'm going to be able to see him. He'll see his kid. It's going to be great. I can do this. I can support him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I marry the guy. At this point, my childhood home is being, my grandpa had died, right? And so my childhood home is being sold because it's left to my dad and his brothers, and they all want to sell it. So the childhood home is sold. I move into a one-bedroom apartment with my dad. I have my daughter. And then I had a C-section, so they gave me pain meds. And I was like, once I had found out I was pregnant, like I used for a little bit, right? And then I stopped. And then I finished out my pregnancy without using.
Oh, wow.
And
what was that time like?
It was having my daughter in my belly. It was actually really beautiful. My sisters were there for me. My dad was there for me. Let's see. So I remember when I came back with that girl from LA, I told her my dad was sick, and my dad had a tumor, right? He had a tumor that was being taken out. So I needed to come back to San Diego. Mm-hmm. So we come back to San Diego. My dad's getting this taken out. And at this point, I hit up that one girl that first gave me the meth, and I'm so methed out, you know, and she introduces me to some friends. Mm-hmm. And so I go to their house, and I'm there for like a week, and we're like putting curtains up and shit. Ugh. And he leaves for LA, and I'm talking to his roommate, and then all of a sudden there's I bring all my stuff upstairs, and I'm like doing my laundry. I'm like have all these pins out, and we get a knock on the door, and it's undercovers. And so I had gotten a wet and reckless when I was 18 years old, and I never had it taken care of. So I've been driving without a license till I was like, till like 27.
Oh shit.
Until like recently.
Yeah, man. So, but that's when it finally was taken care of. Like I had that bench warrant for a long time, for that wet and reckless. I didn't take care of it. So when the undercover cops came, I went to jail, and the guy wasn't there that they were looking for. He had gone to LA. And so they ended up all that stuff with my license got taken care of. But then I was released on my own recognizances for the other stuff. So it seemed like it was dropped, right? So fast forward to when I'm pregnant, I go camping with my sister and my dad, and then I come back home. My dad makes a steak, and I remember that night before I was camping, and I got a message on the gram, or maybe Snapchat, one of the two, from the guy, and he said, there's a warrant out for all of us. And it's like almost a year later, right? Because the DA can reopen a case. So I'm home and I'm eating steak, and all of a sudden the fugitive task force is at my house, and I go to jail for this stuff that they reopened, right? And they're trying to get me with intent to sell and all this stupid shit. My dad's like, you need to fight this, right? So I ended up fighting it while I'm pregnant, and it gets dropped to like possession, right? But now I am looked at like I mingle with these people, right? And they're really being looked at or whatever. So after I'm pregnant and have my daughter, and then they give me the pain meds for having a C-section, I'm like, I want to do meth, you know? I want to do meth again. So I end up seeing somebody at the the county office where you get food stamps and stuff.
Oh boy.
And I'm all, hey, you got any of that supercharged white girl, you know? And because everyone knew I did cocaine, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was out really yet that I was doing meth. I'm pretty sure it is, you know, but that's what I called it.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing meth again, and my baby was just born, and I'm hooked on meth again, and I end up, like, my dad was living with me there. He decided to get a trailer, and with the money that he got from the house, and he's gonna, like, buy land in Missouri and move, you know? And so I'm living in this one-bedroom apartment. Eventually I have to move out of it, and I'm supposed to move into Junior's mom's house. And I was going to live in the living room, and I had all my stuff there. And then I leave. I'm like, this is weird, and, like, it's weird without him here, and I'm on drugs, and I don't want to be, I want to be using, you know? So my daughter basically gets taken from CPS, and I have to move all my stuff out of my mother-in-law's house, and I moved to this junkyard in Lakeside. Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Fucking weird, dude. And but you know, I'm really grateful for that guy that has the junkyard. He had always been a stand-up person the whole time I was in my addiction. There's a few people that, like, they were helpful. You know what I mean? I'm not going to contact them really today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm grateful for those people because I was safe, and no one did anything to me.
Right.
You know
Fuck
what I
yeah.
mean? Well, some people, right? So, like,
Lakeside Junkyard.
yeah, over there, Slaughter Canyon Road,
All right.
Slaughterhouse Canyon Road.
Right.
So I end up marrying Junior, all that stuff, and my daughter gets taken. I remember going and visiting him, and, like, I was on informal probation, so eventually they tell me, like, you can't visit him anymore.
Yeah.
So I find this girl's ID, and I start going to see him as her with a wig on and shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. And so it just so much chaos.
That only goes so far though. Only
Yeah.
goes so far. Yeah.
Yeah, because eventually he leaves and goes to prison, and I'm on a sick one, and, like, I'm not there for him at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? And his mom's taking care of my daughter. I can't get clean.
Right.
So here I am, just on a sick one, and I remember I stole a car. And I always drove a stick shift, right? So I'm fucked up on Xanax and meth, and I'm driving around by, like, Tecolote Canyon Road over there.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm thinking it's a stick shift, but it's not. So I look fucking nuts. I have no shoes on. I have, like, this doily white outfit on. And and then I get surrounded by cops, and they're telling me to get out of the car, all that shit.
No
and
way.
so I go to jail, and I get my first felony. They tell me to go to treatment. You know, I tell them what's going on with my daughter, all that stuff, and they tell me to go to treatment. But as soon as I get out, I'm just on another good one, and I never take care of it. And so I go to this person's house where I had met that chick. You know, I go back there, and I'm there for a while. I have no shoes on again. And the guy wants this girl out of his house, so I walk her outside of her car, and I'm like, you got to go. And I had this fanny pack on, some running shorts, and, like, a Razorback top, and I remember a white SUV-looking thing pull up, and another car pull up behind it. And I'm thinking they're here for this guy's house. You know, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm out of here. So I run, and I'm in Bay Park by, like, USD, and I, like, run. And I run down, like, the what is it, the ice plants or whatever. I kind of twist my ankle a little bit.
I was gonna say that sucks.
Yeah,
Damn.
and I remember getting to Friars Road and, like, being on the side of these houses, and then I have to run across Friars Road, and I run across Friars Road.
Jeez.
And then I try to hop a fence, but the fence isn't connected to the pole, so I fall back down.
Oh my God.
It's like
And this is a mish.
yeah.
For those that don't know, she's, like, hoofed it like 2 miles.
Yeah, dude.
On a sick one.
On a sick one, and I'm just running. And I remember there's like that golf area, right? So I'm like army crawling.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I make it to Fashion Valley, and I run through one of those department stores, and like the security's like, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just running, So I get out of there. I get to the trolley station. I remember running through some like river-looking thing, and
San Diego River.
yeah, and then making it to Hotel Circle.
Yeah.
And,
God damn.
Yeah, dude. And then I asked these people who were smoking if they had a cigarette, and they're like, no, but we got this. And they gave me like a blunt or Black and Mild or whatever, and I hit it, and they're all, what's wrong with you? And I was all,
She bumped into Ozzy.
I was all, you don't want to know. And they're like, oh, hell no. And so they go, and I'm like, you don't want your Black and Mild back,
Cool. I'll keep it.
Yeah. So I end up running some more, and then there's like this little road that goes to the UCSD Medical Center, but then like that little road, if you take a path, it goes all into the canyon area. So I remember praying to God, and I go, please let me meet some people,
With some shoes.
Yeah. And like half a mile in, there's 4 people right there with bikes. And like there's this guy named Bear, and he has this trench coat on with no shirt underneath. And I like, at this point I had cut all my hair off. My hair used to be really long. I cut it all off. I look like fucking Peter Pan, right? So I'm like down on the ground, and I'm all, do you guys have a cigarette? And they're all, what the fuck? We thought you were a little boy. And I see these helicopters, and I tell them about the guy's house that I was at. And I was like, so do you think that they're there for him or me? And they're all, are you tripping? No, they were all, are you on drugs? And I was all, yes, I'm on drugs, but I'm not tripping. Because they asked me, are you tripping? Are you on drugs? And I was all, yes, I'm on drugs, but I'm not tripping. And so the guy Bear hobbles me up to his camp, and I'm like, my foot is fucked up, and he gives me some like ice and some chocolate milk. And I remember just being in shock and like falling asleep in his tent.
Oh, boy.
I wake up the next morning, there's this little old lady. She's like, I got our laundry. I need you to help me get it up the mountain. And they're doing shots, right? And I'm all, I don't do that. I do lines, So she gives me a line. And the moment they leave, I'm like, I'm fucking out of here, So I make it to UCSD Medical Center, and I use the phone in the building, and I call the guy whose house I was at, and he's all, they're looking for you as the U.S. Marshal. And I'm like, and he's like, you better turn yourself in. And I'm like,
not happening.
Not happening, dude. Yeah. So I call this other person in Claremont, and I live in this guy's car for a while with my ankle pretty fucked up until it heals,
Right.
And I'm just on meth, and
just messing around.
Just messing around. And then and at this time, I am doing whatever I have to do for my addiction to stay. I'm stealing whatever. I'm getting money that way, right?
Right.
And so I end up coming across enough money to get by in a hotel for a while. And then when that money runs out, I go back to Claremont, and I go to the Sprouts over there by Fiesta Island. There's like a Sprouts on Claremont Drive.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember being in the checkout line, and there's like this security guard, but he looks real suspicious. And I'm just like thinking in my head, like, I got all these gift cards. I'm not stealing anything today, so you can't do shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the moment I'm about to pay, this guy walks up behind me, and he goes, Cody Sparks, put your hands behind your back. And from there, it's a fucking wrap. So it's that U.S. Marshal, and he's trying to find me, right? He's been trying to find me for a while. And I remember the day before, I was skating around, and like all that money had pretty much dwindled away, and the sun was coming down, and I really wanted a way out of this. And I was like, I just want to see my daughter. I want this to be over. You know what I mean? And so when that happened the night after, or the day after, I didn't fight it. I didn't run again. He had me sit there handcuffed. He was like, where's your stuff at? And I was like, it's outside with this guy that around the corner. And he ends up putting me in his car. And then he goes and gets the guy and my stuff and my skateboard. And the guy sits in the back seat, and he's, we call him Boston, right? So the U.S. Marshal is also from New York. And so they both have these fucking accents. And the U.S. Marshal is, Boston, the guy, he's all, God, Cody, I knew you was in trouble, but I didn't know you was in trouble like this. And he's all, how'd you know I was with her? And then the other guy, the U.S. Marshal's all, I know Cody Sparks. I know what the fuck her stuff looks like, And then they come to find out that the U.S. Marshal's partner was one of Boston's friends that he grew up with in New York. I'm like, what the fuck, So he lets Boston go. Yeah. And I get driven to Las Colinas.
Ugh.
I remember, like, the lights being really blurry on the 52 because I was crying. And I told him what I had been doing. And that marshal went and got all my stuff from a house that I was staying at, brought it to my sister's house in Escondido. And I get out, and I go to Kiva. I'm there for, like, 3 months. And at first I'm in, like, 3 house. It's a non-walking dorm, and then I make it to Trusty, and I get to do hair. And, I'm like, I know how to use scissors, you know what I'm saying? And so I got to cut a lot of people's hair and go around the whole jail and do that. And then I go to Kiva. And I get to Kiva, and I'm still very impulsive. I want to be the loudest person in the room. I want to, I'm the shit, right? And this was during my Daiki phase. So I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I had cut all my hair,
Come on.
So I remember seeing this girl in jail, and I was like,
I'll say jail time wasn't so bad, huh?
Yeah. I remember falling in love with her, dude. And
love a good jail love story.
As soon as I became,
have one of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, I always get people to try and confess to that, and they never do.
Hell no.
I thought we were gonna have a winner.
Hey, just tell me you made out with your bro. Just tell me you made out with your bunkie. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah. Tell me about the tranny.
I'm down to smash the tranny.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm just playing out.
No.
I just like to see them do that.
if they made an action figure, like, that would be like one of the.
Like, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Here he goes again.
I've been blown away this episode. It's been fucking wild, right? There's been some wild shit happening. Anyway, so you're.
It's all up and down, and there's so much in between. But
So you're lesing out.
So I'm lesing out, and I remember.
Did you get her box? The girl you fell in love with?
No, dude, I fucked her over.
What?
Yeah, man.
You stole from her?
No, I just.
You got out and bounced?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. But I remember, oh my gosh. Okay, ready for this one? Yeah. So I remember becoming the barber, right? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to go to whatever dorm I want to. So at this time I'm doing these, like, kites, right? And I'm getting kites sent to her, and I'm letting her know that, like, I have a crush on you, and I liked you when we were in the dorm together and all this stuff. And I'm getting girls to put, like, in between the hot packs, a little thing, you know what I mean? And, like, I was, like, so into it that one time the deputy was all, you want to come with me to go do a raid in 3 house? I'm all, fuck yeah, but I need my badge. So we go back to the dorm, and I get a kite, and like, I know that I'm going to go into her cell, So I go in her cell, and I'm like, oh, she has some pants. And then as soon as we, like, close that door, I put the kite in there, I was so smooth, And I remember cutting hair, and, like, I would tell the deputy, like, oh, I want to cut hair in here so that not all the girls are surrounding us. In, like, the little interview room where you, like, meet with somebody, with, like, your counselor or something. So, like, I remember I got to kiss her, and I would, like, put, like, a Jolly Rancher in my mouth, Ooh. Yeah, dude. But I remember one time, like, I was so excited to give her one of these kites that I put in between my butt cheeks. And I don't know. I think I had to go to the bathroom before I gave it to her. When I pulled it out, there was a little bit of shit on it. And so I just wrote on it, like, that's just coffee.
Oh, my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, you ever gave Bethany a letter with a piece
A
of
shitty note? No, I have not. I have not.
Because I spent a long time on that fucking kite.
She's getting it.
She's getting it, dude.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, because you got to write small as fuck. I love you. You love me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like poems and poems, you know?
Oh boy.
So I get out and I go to Kiva, and we're supposed to be together. I meet another chick there. I had been cutting that girl's hair in Forehouse, and she said she was gonna go to Kiva. So I'm like, I'm gonna fucking get into Kiva.
Yeah.
So it's like a month in, and like she comes, and like I'm like, hell yeah, you know?
What's up?
Yeah, but and so I ended up breaking the other girl's heart or whatever. I ended up telling her what happens, you know? But anyways, so my addiction is still pretty apparent, and I want to use. I think I can get away with this. So the girl I like, she wants GHB, and so I'm on a mission to get her some GHB. The guy who I go on like a pass or whatever, skating down the street, the guy pulls up, I get in his car, and I ask him if he has any meth too, you know? And so I do some meth, and then I meet up with the girl, 'cause she goes out on pass too, and then we're not supposed to be together, so like a mile away from Kiva, I get out, and then I fucking skate down that hill like, whoo, I'm fucking awesome, I got this GHB. But I remember being in the back seat like too high, right? So I'm like drinking the GHB myself.
Oh fuck.
I've never done it before.
Yeah,
And you're saying you're drinking it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And
the story
so
doesn't end well.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. I think that I'm thinking that it's not working, right? And so I do some more when I get back to Kiva.
Right.
And then I go to take a bath. I put on these headphones. I'm dancing to Chris Brown. I'm like,
Is it me?
on the floor. If he ain't,
Let me know.
let me see if you can run it, run it. And then bam! I'm not running shit because my head is in the toilet.
Oh.
Like I hit my head on the toilet, and all these motherfuckers are downstairs eating. And I'm up there. Unconscious, dude. And so
Lights out.
lights out, and the paramedics come, and I have to go to the hospital, and
Test positive for GHB and methamphetamines.
yep.
Oh no.
And so then I get back to Kiva. I find my way back to Kiva. I get a ride back there.
Oh no.
It's like middle of the night. I go to sleep, and then the next day I wake up. They put me on blackout. The day I'm gonna graduate, I end up relapsing again. So
Wait, so did they not kick you out?
no, they didn't kick me out. But I was on a blackout for like 30 days. I remember that night too. I was the night that I relapsed, I fucking put all these Christmas lights up in my bed too, and I was just chilling. It's so dumb. So dumb.
So dumb.
The dumbest shit, dude. And so I'm out for like a week, and I tell my probation officer, Chester. His name was Chester.
Not a good name.
Yeah.
Not a good name
Not
at
a
all.
good name at all.
Yeah, man. And
We'll just
so
leave that one alone.
Chester the molest. No, he wasn't. But yeah, dude. So I'm thinking I'm slick. I'm gonna go into probation. I'm drinking baking soda.
Oh my God.
I'm fucking puking it up, drinking it, shitting out my ass, all the fucking things, you know? And I forget that I put the meth in my bag. And so when I go in there and they search my bag, I'm thinking I'm going to get away with this. There's that meth that I was just doing for a week in my bag still. Don't even check that. All I'm worried about is this baking soda getting into my system so I can piss clean.
Never heard of that. That's a first. I drank vinegar. I've done a lot of I've taken so many fake piss tests from the smoke shop.
Yeah.
Quick Fix. I've done that so many times. I'm a fucking pro at it.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, because I would switch car dealerships all the time, and you always have the fucking drug test. Yeah. So he knows. He's done it too.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm so good at it. So like I'd leave it in my dash, put on the fucking defrost, get it nice and fucking hot, get it to 101. I got about 15 minutes, so I'm going to pull it out, pour it into the cup. I remember one time they took too long to get me in there, and it was like below 98 degrees, and the woman's like, "Is that below 98?" I was like, "Listen, here's $20. It's fake piss. I need this job." And she was like, "All right."
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Took the 20, and she's like, "All right, yeah, congratulations, you passed."
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I like looked her dead in her eyes. I was like, "I need this job."
Wow. And so how long did you have that job?
30 days.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't
I'm
good.
fucking.
Was not. It was probably a little bit longer than that, but
Yeah.
I probably worked for of the time there, probably like 2 weeks. I did 2 weeks worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where she goes. Where she goes.
The piss master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Total, like all ritualized. You know?
oh yeah.
Total. Yeah.
So they find the meth.
Yeah.
Did you test clean though?
No. No.
Oh, no.
I didn't realize they were going to test me the last day that I graduate.
Mm.
I thought I was going to be out with flying colors, right? So, you mean the probation officer?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. It was up. It was
Yeah.
up. They ended up driving me to jail, and I'm in there for like a month. And then I get out. I go to Serenity House. I end up getting a job in Escondido at 7-Eleven. I graduate Serenity House. I'm on probation. I meet a sponsor while I'm working at 7-Eleven.
Oh, shit.
And she offers for me to move into her pad. And I'm like, hell yeah. So I move into her pad. And I don't know what the whole thing was, but I was tripping on her wanting my money to help with groceries. Like, I was just selfish and self-seeking. You know what I mean? I think this lady's, like, trying to get over on me or something. Yeah. All she was trying to do was help me. You know what I mean? Her name's Mary. She's an amazing woman. But honestly, if you think about it, I'm probably in relapse mode. I want to go to my sister's. Shit. I want to move into my sister's in Escondido, and I want to do what I want to do, you know? And so I move into Josie's house, and I remember I come down to San Diego to hang out with my sister Mary, and I remember wanting to use that whole night. So the day after I get on the bus to Escondido, and I remember being at 7-Eleven, and I had met somebody from my past came into 7-Eleven, but from my way past, like when I was 14 and drinking. Like, this person, like, taught me what the Beatles were and shit, you know? And he came into 7-Eleven, and I was like, holy shit, like, what's up? I knew the guy was on drugs, you know? But I still got the person's number. And so that's a reservation. You know what I mean? So as soon as I'm ready to use, I know somebody in Escondido, I'm going to hit up that reservation. I'm going to probation. Pick me up here. Bring the meth. Yeah.
I'll be ready. Yeah. You too.
Yeah. So he knows exactly where that place is too. You know what I mean? Of course. Yeah. And so there I am in his car, and I'm fucking like all down, you know, like
that meme with Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, it's so good. Man. So you've graduated from snorting meth to now we're ripping the pizzo.
Oh now yeah,
just don't burn the dope.
Well, the funny thing is that day that those undercover cops came to that person's house, it was the first day I smoked out of a quack.
What's a quack?
A bong for meth.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was real fucking high that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that with my younger brother. And I didn't know that's what it was called, but it was like an elegant glass piece. And he was like, yeah, do that before we shoot you up. Let's just see where you're at. And I was like, I smoked it, and I was like, nah, give me the needle. Let's go. Yeah. I'm not fucking around. Stop wasting the dope.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. So, yeah, I end up relapsing, and, like, I'm at my sister's house. I take the night shift, right, at 7-Eleven. I meet all the tweakers. Meet a guy. I end up getting kicked out of my sister's house. I ended up shooting up with that guy a few times, like a handful of times. I couldn't do it myself. He would do it, you know what I mean? And I ended up getting a PT Cruiser from the guy in Lakeside with the junkyard. I'm living in a PT Cruiser. The PT Cruiser stops working, so I have him, like, tow it to Escondido, and I stay in Escondido in my PT Cruiser for a while. And then there was no more meth that day. And so I asked my friend if I could try his heroin. Oh. Yeah. And so I smoke some heroin. I go to the mall, and I come up at the mall all day long. And so now I find the next best thing, you know, is smoking heroin. And so I'm doing that, and then eventually I make my way down to Point Loma. We're in a U-Haul. The U-Haul hasn't been turned in for like a month after it was done. We get pulled over. I go back to jail. I have to finish out my time for that probation thing I was on for the stolen car. And I get out, and I'm off paper. And I think, you know, I'm going to get high again, and I'm going to get all the stuff I need to get clean. And I end up in the junkyard in Lakeside. It is Thanksgiving. I go see my daughter. I come back to Lakeside, and I didn't like the fucking vibes, and I was like, I got to get clean. I remember I hit up Trevor, right? And I got mad at him because I feel like he's in debt to me. Like, he owes me something, but he's not. You know what I mean? And so I get pissed at him because he doesn't want to come get me and help me and let me live at his house. You know? So I'm a total dick. But I do remember that someone from my past who showed me that junkyard, he is now sober and clean. So I hit him up, and he has me detox at his sober living in Santee in his room. And I just sleep for a lot of days. He introduces me to one of the roommates who is now the sober living manager there. He has been for a while.
Is this Nick?
Chris. His name's Chris.
Okay.
One of Nina's houses.
Okay.
And that friend, Bart, gets me into the woman's house behind it. And he pays for my first month's rent. And then I get a job at Felipe's where he's working and on Friars. Is that Friars Road? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Kearney Mesa, ain't it?
Not that one. The one in Mission Valley.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I worked there for a while, and and I end up paying them back for that room, and
Nice.
And then I get into an outpatient.
Nice.
And I start going to the Serenity shop.
Nice.
I try to get a sponsor. I do the 1, 2, 3. You know. I bail on her when it comes to number 4. Anna Banana.
Anna Banana?
She's an amazing woman. Every time that I see her, she tells me, I'm so glad that you're doing so well now. I love seeing your life, you know? And there's been, and then also that other Mary, the one I was living with, she always is so welcoming.
Right.
And then there was another sponsor that I bailed on during my dyke phase.
Nice.
Yeah. That, like, I see her around, too. And I saw her at the women's retreat, and she was just so nice to me, too. So honestly, like, if you relapse and you're scared to come back into the rooms, like, it's totally worth it, because even if that one person is going to be fucked up to you, like, there could be a few of them, right?
Yeah.
But the other side of it is there's all those people that aren't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hello.
Especially like those women, you know? And I see that to be very true, is that we all have it's a herd, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big part of it too, is like people need to see, like, you don't have to relapse. Like, that doesn't have to be part of your story. It's part of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And people in the rooms with time and without time need to see that you can fuck up and still come back, because that keeps a lot of people out there, is the shame and all that. It's like,
yeah.
And I always try to like say this, it is in our inherent nature as addicts to use drugs.
Yeah.
The absence of drugs in our life is fucking weird, and it's unfamiliar, and it's uncomfortable. We feel most safe when we are high. So to not be high is fucking weird.
Yeah.
So being clean is a complete, total change in your life. So every day that you're not high is a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
For a fucking thoroughbred addict. So
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with relapsing. I wouldn't suggest it. It sucks big dick. It's like, it's fucking, it sucks a lot, and it requires a lot of work. And especially if you're habitually doing it. Like, you're taking 10 steps back from the fucking start line every time you do it.
Right.
Because people eventually get fucking sick of hearing it. If you're not taking the advice and you're not doing what's suggested, like, people get sick of fucking dealing with that.
Yeah.
So I don't suggest relapsing.
Right.
It's much better to just be miserable and clean.
Yeah.
Because being miserable and high with fucking a head full of fucking recovery sucks dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you're high at someone's house saying, hey, I'm going to have to get clean soon.
Yeah.
I think you guys should come with me.
Yeah. And
You
they're
know
like,
what I mean?
shut the fuck up, nerd. We're getting high over here.
We're not.
Yeah.
You're harshing the mellow? Get the fuck out, weirdo.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so she's out.
So what's your clean date?
Well, my clean day is
Well, aren't ours very close?
yes. Yeah. So I go, okay, let's see. So during that time, I relapse again, right? I move into someone's house and I relapse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out again, and I get the same charge. The same exact charge. I tell myself I'm not going to do that, and I go and I do it. And I go back to jail for 10 months. And then I go to treatment for 4 months. And I remember,
why do they do that, dude? Like, why do they do that now? Like, they lock your ass up for 10 months, and then they go ahead and they lock you up. They should have just gave you 2 years.
yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Let's see.
And
So
then now you're on MSO?
Yeah, now I'm on MSO. So my clean date is January 5th,
Oh yeah, that is
2021?
21?
21, right?
We
It's
should-
23? Yeah.
Time out. We should really narrow this down.
Yeah.
Your clean date is 1/5/21.
Yes.
Okay, mine's
Yeah.
1/2/20.
1/5/21. Yeah. It's
Fuck
on
yeah,
there.
dog.
Okay. So like
Are you in the program, or you is your clean date from jail?
my clean date is from jail.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of dope in the women's jail?
There can be.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, there's
I was just
people
wondering if there is in the men's side apparently.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit that goes on in there, you know. But at this time, I'm in there, and I'm like, I'm just here to get clean, and then I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna stay in here, I'm gonna do whatever programs are offered to me. So I go to culinary school in there. It's during COVID, you know. And
That's crazy.
yeah, it was during
Yeah.
COVID times. I get to work in the kitchen. I become a trustee. I do the culinary program. There was no meetings in there, and I remember telling my counselor, I need a book. I need the NA book, right? Because there's AA all over in the jail, the books, you know, and I could have just read that, but I wanted the NA book, and she gave me a blue book, you know, and that's what I read. And I remember like having that entire 10 months in there, and plus those other 4 months, like that was where I regained a lot of sanity.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I connected with a higher power, because that's really all I could talk to. You know, of course there was people in there, but like I would bullshit around. I'd tell them all these fucking stories like I tell you guys, you know. I'd get by. But like when it came to like me and hitting the bed and like just being alone, 'cause I wasn't really, 'cause I was with a higher power, but that's where I really got in tune with just like chilling the fuck out.
Mm.
You know? And all I wanted to do when I was in there was get out and go to the Serenity Shop.
Mm.
That's all I wanted to do. That was my fucking mission. And so when I went to Casa de Milagros, I became student council. I didn't know. It's weird to tell people what to do when you're usually the person that's like, fuck it, you know. I'm gonna do I'm just gonna get by, and I'm gonna act how I'm supposed to act to graduate this program, which I've always done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell people what they want to hear, or it's like Jekyll and Hyde, or like there's a part of me that wants to, and there's a part of me that like knows, you know. But at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna do what is suggested of me. I'm gonna follow the rules. I didn't have any relationships when I was in jail. I didn't have any relationships when I was in treatment. I stayed away from that. And then I also, you know, my husband, he was gonna be coming out of prison. And when he got out, and it was in person on Christmas, he came to the treatment facility, and I said, I can't do this, and I cannot be with you. And there's a lot of fear in that, because his mom adopted my daughter. And so, of course, I'm scared that
They're gonna see each other, or he's gonna try to take them.
yeah, like I won't really get to see my kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
But of course, there's that trust and that faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get to do like Zoom visits with my daughter, and I get to see her at this time, and he seems to take it well from what he's showing me, right? And but at that point, like whatever, like I got to do what I got to do for my recovery, you know. And so I really want to go back to that sober living in Santee so that I can go to the Serenity Shop. And when I get out, I'm back at the same outpatient, and I go on Facebook, and I made a post saying, like, you know, all the women in recovery, I just got out. I need your support. I need you to surround me. And that's exactly what happened. Chris' friend came and picked me up, and she took me to Farragut Circle, you know. And when I got in the car, I told them, you know, the dumb shit that I had done and where I'm at now. And ever since then, it's like it's taken off from there, you know. I'm now on step 9. And my sponsor's Rachel.
Shout out.
That's
it's my girl.
It's her 4 years today. Yep. So she's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's so amazing. Before Rachel, I asked Carrie to be my sponsor, and we did like 1, 2, 3, you know. And I ended up telling Carrie I'd really like to go through the steps with Rachel, And Carrie was totally cool with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Carrie is a very significant woman in my life. I feel like a lot of those women, you know, if I call them and I tell them something, like they are all like sponsors. You know what I mean? So Carrie's a very significant woman in my life. She had me move into her house. I live at her house. She helped me get a car. But I was doing the thing for like a year, like where I would ride a bike to Chick-fil-A, because probation was like, you're going to need to go to Second Chance and get a job. Because I wanted to just get out and focus on my recovery for like 3 months, right? And she basically said I would have had to start going to Second Chance. And I didn't want to take the trolley all the way to Second Chance. Is that just, I don't feel like that would have been my second chance.
No.
That neighborhood shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like off of Encano, right?
Yeah. And that's actually where I lived before when I relapsed. I lived in a house there. I lived
Emerald Hills and shit.
Yeah, I lived with a normie. They were cool, you know? But they ended up peeling. They ended up going to camping one day, and that's when I relapsed that night. I was like, fuck it. They're gone. I'm going to relapse. So
that neighborhood is tough.
Yeah. But it was a beautiful house. They lived in a beautiful house. She was in the military. It was cool. You know, I never really hung out there. I would come and go, you know?
Slept there.
Yeah. It was scary to even drive back in there. So like I would stay in my car a lot of the times, like down by the bay and like do Uber and shit during COVID with like gloves on.
With gloves on.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, the stolen Uber car.
Come on.
Let's go.
No, I was Uber Eats. And I got a car from my stimulus.
Hey.
And it was a stick shift, dude.
Come on.
Honda, and it had 5 speeds.
Theft prevention.
Yeah, dude.
No millennial's gonna steal your car. They get in and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" Not millennial, Gen Z.
Yeah,
What
but
the fuck is this?
I ended up crashing it.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, I crashed into I fell asleep and I crashed into a parked truck. But anyways, so it's fucking stupid, you know.
So what's your life been like since you gotten clean?
Since I've gotten clean, so I ended up working at Chick-fil-A for like a year, and I really loved working there. I loved working with the younger group of people, and I worked in the kitchen, and I was completely able to be 1,000% fucking me. And I was so upfront about this. I'm on probation. I'm in recovery. I'm working the 12 steps. This is what my life's about, you know what I mean? And I would tell them stories all the time and stuff. And at this point, like I start doing steps with Rachel. I asked her when the sun was setting last year. She had that party at the beach. I asked her to be my sponsor then.
Nice.
And we got to sit in my sober living and go over the steps, and then I moved into Carrie's, and we continue to do the steps, you know. And now I'm working in treatment.
Damn.
Yeah. But I'm a behavioral health technician. I work at this private pay place. It's interesting, you know. But like I have good relationships today, and chaos is not so consistent in my life.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I try to practice spiritual principles. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But I really try to just be better than I was, you know, and especially make those living amends. Like I don't want to do the things that I've done before, you know what I mean? And so it's a complete 360. Like when they say the obsession to use has been lifted. Not even just that, but like the obsession to want chaos, the obsession of wanting things that I don't need. So like going into stores and shoplifting, I don't even think of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There will be times where I've been to the Target in Santee, and it hasn't even crossed my mind that I've been in there before and done some crazy shit, and I'm going to check out, and it isn't until I see that security guard there that I remember. But they don't even fuck with me anymore. You know what I mean?
It's not even fun.
Yeah. And like I just get to walk out. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah, with a receipt, dude.
Right.
And it's just so much simpler. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I have a consistent sleep schedule. Like I used to not sleep very well. And so having that routine in jail and then in treatment, and then I got to go to Chick-fil-A where it was the same exact hours from 6 a.m. to 2. You know what I mean? Like that, I can just lay my head down and go to sleep now. I don't even have to take medication to help me with that, which I did for a while. I took it for 14 months, maybe 16, 17, right? I took trazodone, and but now today I don't have to do that. You know what I mean?
It's dope.
Yeah, I finished outpatient. I'm renting a room from Carrie. I have my own car. I actually pay insurance on that car every month. You know what I mean?
4 matching tires.
4 matching tires.
Come on.
That's right.
Yeah, one of them deflates a lot, so Will likes to fill it up with air.
Thank God for Will.
Yeah, thank God for Will, because like I would just be like, yeah, I'll do it.
It's
then
flat.
I don't.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Thank God I paid for this insurance.
Exactly. Exactly, dude. And I get to have real relationships today. You know what I mean? That's consistent in my life. I don't have to hide anymore. I felt like a lot of times in my life I had this friend group in Claremont. I went to performing arts school. I had my drugs, which of course I did with some of those people, but also what was I doing more behind that, right? I was finding those people that wanted to do it more and like hidden and tucked away. So it was all a bunch of different lives that I was living, you know what I mean? And now today I don't have to hide. This is who I am. I'm in recovery. And all parts of my life, it's just open.
Right.
And it's beautiful, you know?
Is Trevor, are you guys still friends?
Trevor is at UC Davis, and he is getting his PhD on chemical engineering.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Wow.
And Michael is a pilot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lacey has kids with Michael's brother.
Wow.
Yeah. They're really amazing people. There's some other friends in Claremont that like Charlie and Sadie, they let me in even when I was on drugs, you know what I mean? And I was always able to go over there. And they are supporters to my life today. You know what I mean? And they are some of my favorite people too. And like I've gone over there for Christmas and done like a white elephant party. My sister Mary and her husband, I get to hang out with them. My sister Josie is living somewhere else, I think like Idaho or something.
Damn.
My dad's in Missouri. He came out here recently, and I got to spend some time with him. I remember he came in his trailer, and like I really just wanted to clean the whole thing, you know? But of course, any time that I've ever helped him do anything, I was always trying to take something from him.
Right.
Money or drugs, you know? And so I remember there was a moment that happened where he was like, I could feel that tension. And so I got kind of upset, and I left, and I went and chilled out, and I ended up, actually Alexandria hit me up randomly, and I ended up telling her how I was feeling and what was going on, and she like kind of coached me through it. And she's like, your family's not going to know this new version of you, and so you can't rush that. You know what I mean? And so I ended up going back there the next morning, and I ended up telling him, like, I just want to help you. I'm not here to take anything from you. I'm not here to get anything over you. You know what I mean? Get one over on you. I just want to help my dad. So I was able to clean his trailer. I did a bunch of his laundry, and I just spent time with him. You know what I mean? Me and Will got to take him out to eat a bunch of times, and it was good.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. And I hope when I get off probation that I get to go visit him, and I get to go visit my sister Josie. When I was in treatment, my mother ended up passing away. So she had cancer. So she ended up passing away. I didn't really get to see her. But, you know, the day I got that news, that night I went to go to sleep. And I was praying or whatever, and I felt like she was at peace. Because she had all these problems, you know, that blocked her from having this is what I feel, that she had these problems that blocked her from having connections with her kids and other people.
Right.
And so now that I felt that blockage kind of release, and she's always with me. And so I feel like sometimes I find dimes, and I always find like two of them. If there's one, there's not like somewhere else there's gonna be another one,
Right.
you know. And I feel like that's my nana and my mom, right? So I'm in constant contact with her and my nana and my stepdad, you know. So that's
Tree Stump Willie.
yeah, and I wouldn't I wouldn't have that today if I wasn't doing the steps. I wouldn't feel like I'm somewhat grown up, you know? Like I wouldn't have sanity. You know what I mean? And I never really understood that there was like a solution to this and that this was the way, but when when that finally clicked, I was ready to go. You know what I mean? And but I have to do, because any false judgment call, I could go right back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I have to stay connected. I have to do my steps, and I have to help others. And so that's really what I'm doing with my life, you know? I have aspirations. I don't know if I want to work in treatment forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I want to, like, I messed up my knee. I have a partial tear in my meniscus, or a thick tear in my ACL and a partial tear in my meniscus, so I have to
Get that fixed.
I have to get that fixed. I have to go to the gym and like work it out and all this stuff. And but who's to say that like that won't push me into like community theater, or like I know that art is cool. I just never like had the time to like sit there and do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that could be. I like now today I can turn negatives into positives. So just because something that I used to love to do is messed up now, like dancing, like I don't feel 100% I can do it with my knee, you know, because I was more of like a freestyler, like I'll do whatever, you know what I mean? And like just the way my body feels, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to twist and turn and flip and jump. I can't do that anymore, you know? Who's to say I will in the future or not, you know? Maybe I'll get there. But, like, this could be pushing me into another direction in my life where I explore other things. And so, like, that, like, I have to take gradual steps, you know what I mean? And but I also have to accept things. So, like, I'm in acceptance quicker now. I have more patience. Impulsiveness. I try to have self-discipline. You know what I mean? Right. So... yeah, I mean, I want to go back to community college. I want to explore art. I want to explore acting.
Fuck yeah,
you know? And if that doesn't fucking work out, then I'll get an AOD thing and do substance abuse.
Or figure it out from there.
I'll figure it out from there, you know? But there's really no, like, end to what. Now I'm really living my life now.
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I am enjoying my life, and I get to wake up every day, and, like, the world is a playground, but in a good sense, you know? And, like...
the playground's not all rusted out and shot out.
Yeah. You know?
Right.
I can actually do things and enjoy them and remember them today. I can remember timelines. You know?
Sick.
Perks.
Yeah.
Coty, I think it was a perfect spot to wrap. You just closed it up so fucking brilliantly. You got a little
Dude,
party?
she pulled it all together.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy. It was like, what? You took a shitty cat litter to fucking that. And I was like, wow.
I felt like I was in an hour and a half of chaos. Like, you sold the sizzle, okay? I'm like, I don't want to party with her. I've fucking decided.
And then at the end, she just kind of like...
a nice little clean wrap.
Straight up Rachel Bradley did it. Sick.
That's my girl, man.
Yeah.
I aspire to be like her and a lot of the women in recovery, you know?
Yeah, I seen the whole fucking thing with Rachel.
Yeah,
like, it was just, and like seeing her like who she was, like what, like 3-4 years ago,
over 4 years ago.
Yeah, and like in and out, and I was like, damn, look here, little mama. I don't know what you got going on. You need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Take a seat and put the Red Bull down, please.
And like now, and then now seeing her, dude, like she's probably like solid as fuck. Probably more solid than a lot of girls I know. Like, real solid.
Her and Zach. Like, sometimes when I call my sponsor, like, I already know. Her husband's on the line, too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm talking to both of them. And like I don't mind that because he comes with a lot of knowledge too, and he keeps it 100, and I just love them so much. You know what I mean? It when I have friends that are couples like Lance and Patrick. I mean, Lance and Cassie.
Lance and Cassie are fucking awesome. I love Lance.
I just love hanging out with them because it feels like family. You know what I mean? And you get both a male and a female perspective on things.
Right.
And I like Cassie gives me hope one day about having like a real relationship with my daughter. You know what I mean? Carrie always tells me that it's 1 to 18 years old seems like a while, but 18 to like 80 is even longer. You know?
Yeah.
So like the relationship Cassie has with her daughter, like I just I really admire that, and it's super inspirational, you know? And even Sage and her mom. Yeah.
I have a very strained relationship with my almost 13-year-old. Like during the pandemic, there was a rough patch of communication, and she has taken the position to be very fucking, I don't need you, and I don't like you. She doesn't tell me she loves me. She fucking, like, I'll say, I love you, Bridget, and she will say nothing. She'll just look at me. And it's rough, right? And that's the same advice I get. It's like, let her have this moment. If she feels like she needs to be fucking jaded and in her feelings about it, let her have it, because she'll walk through that, and on the other side of it, she'll be like, damn, he's not so bad, and he never fucking gave up on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't going to stop. I'm going to tell her I love her until the day I die. You know what I mean? That nothing has changed. It fucking hurts my feelings.
Of course.
But, like you said, 18 to 80, I have all of this unsurmountable wisdom to be like, here, kid, these are all the fuck-ups I did.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Well, you actually have 13 to 80.
13 to 80,
so
yeah.
Yeah, like my dad was always there. You know what I mean? Like, even though he was bipolar as fuck, like, he was always there. He always had my back. I could always call him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, like, of course, with 3 daughters, like, we fucking hate you. You know what I mean? All in our, like, teenage years. But, like, there just came a point where, like, I love my dad. And he's always been there for me. You know what I mean? And none of that shit fucking matters. Like, this is what matters today. Because, like, when I leave this world, what's going to matter to me is the connections that I have with others. Right. And so that's, like, number one thing. One of the number one things in my life today is, like, building good relationships and connections with others.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was a great place to wrap. Cody, you absolutely fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Been another episode of the LFG 1904 show.
Let's go.
Wow.